As pathetic as their defense is. I'm very disgusted right now. I'm looking forward to this. There's no excuses. Calvin wants to drive. If this man drops another pass, I mean, what is this brother eating before the games? Is he eating bagels with extra butter and forgetting to wash his damn hands or something? You can't catch the ball. I mean, that was one of the interceptions. Right through his hands. Right through his hands.
I'm hearing Nathan, and the camera cuts back to Dillon Gabriel, and he does this thing where he like touches himself on the chest like that's my fault. And I lost my mind. I absolutely went bonkers in the basement.
Stephen A. Smith torched Dillon Gabriel after the Cleveland Browns' humiliation against the New York Jets this weekend. Gabriel threw for just 167 yards as the Browns fell to a Jets team whose quarterback, Justin Fields, managed only 54 passing yards, and 42 of those came on a single screen pass. Cleveland surrendered 2 kick return touchdowns, committed 10 penalties, and watched their starting quarterback sail passes 10 feet over his receivers' heads, all while a potential franchise savior, Shedeur Sanders, sat helplessly on the bench, watching his opportunity fade. And Kevin Stefanski? He looked straight into the camera and told America he's sticking with Dillon Gabriel.
Yeah, we're going to stick with Dillon. Obviously, this is a young players that you're always trying to get one game better and those type of things, but we have to play better as an offense. We have to coach better, all the above.
At this point, it's not just bad coaching, it's organizational malpractice. And now, the sports world, led by Stephen A. Smith and an army of outraged analysts, is done being polite about it. If you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? We drop daily Cleveland Browns and NFL updates. That's all we do, all day, every day. Let's start with what actually happened on that field Sunday. Dillon Gabriel wasn't just bad, he was painfully unprepared.
Supercomputer, the guy that can't throw it really well, isn't accurate, obviously doesn't see how to run the offense, but you drafted him? That's the supercomputer? The supercomputer's a dandy. I mean, I lost my effing mind when I saw that pass go over his head.
The receiver was wide open, the protection was there, and Dillon Gabriel threw the ball into the third row. Dillon's every snap felt like a reminder that not every college standout is ready for the NFL spotlight. His throws were late, his reads were slow, and his confidence looked shattered.
But the pressure rate at 30%, you're expecting a little bit more considering there's a patchwork offensive line. You expected them to be even more lethal. Again, you got to him, but he was getting the ball released quicker than he ever had, like 2.21 seconds or whatever it was.
This wasn't a rough outing. It was a public unraveling. And the worst part? The Browns let it happen while Shedeur Sanders, a player many believe could change the trajectory of the franchise, stood on the sideline holding a clipboard. At some point, you stop blaming the quarterback and start blaming the decision makers. Cleveland isn't just losing games, they're losing credibility.
Kevin Stefanski, Dillon Gabriel isn't playing bad, per se, but he's not galvanizing this team at all. He's not enlightening this team at all. He's not keeping this team above the sticks, above the chains, ahead of the sticks at all. And he ain't helping you win games. So why not move on from Dillon Gabriel? Like, Kevin Stefanski, stop being so dense.
This is the critical question that Stefanski refuses to answer honestly. In his post-game press conference, when asked about progress from Gabriel's first start to his fifth, Stefanski gave the most coach-speak answer imaginable. He said, well, I think with young quarterbacks, it's understanding that there's going to be ups and downs. Can Dillon play better? Yes, he can. Can we play better around him? Yes, we can. Can we coach him better? Yes, we can. That's not an answer. That's a deflection. That's a man who knows he's made the wrong decision, but is too proud to admit it.
And I believe Kevin Stefanski is the greatest thing to happen to the Cleveland Browns in the last 25 years. I was drafted to the Cleveland Browns. So if anybody has authority to speak on the Cleveland Browns, trust me, I do. But this stubbornness, bro, is truly starting to look negligent, and it's starting to look like malpractice because we all got eyeballs, bro.
Negligent and malpractice. Those are strong words from someone who once wore the orange and brown. Now, here's what makes this situation transcend typical NFL quarterback controversies. Shedeur Sanders is sitting right there. He's on the roster. He's practicing. He's watching. And everyone except Kevin Stefanski seems to think he should be playing. The logic is there tight. The Browns are 2-9. They're not making the playoffs. Their season is effectively over. So why wouldn't you use these remaining games to evaluate whether Shedeur Sanders is your quarterback of the future? Why wouldn't you give yourself the information you need to make draft decisions in April? But here's where it gets spicy. Multiple analysts have suggested that Stefanski's refusal to play Sanders isn't just stubbornness, it's personal.
I truly think that he does not like Shedeur Sanders. And nobody can tell me different. You know why? Because his interviews and the way he carries it when he bring his name up, it shows it.
Yeah.
Watch Kevin Stefanski's press conference when he's asked about Shedeur Sanders. When reporter Daryl brings up the idea of seeing both young quarterbacks and whether there's any timetable for playing Sanders, Stefanski's response is ice cold. No hesitation, no second thoughts, just that familiar blank stare and a calm, dismissive tone. He shuts the question down like it's beneath him, offering nothing but a robotic, "we're sticking with our plan." The kind of answer that tells you everything without saying anything. No accountability, no urgency, just the same stubborn loyalty to a quarterback who can't move the offense in a system that's clearly broken.
Yeah, I don't think it's fair to speculate, Daryl. We're committed to getting better as an offense. Dillon is certainly committing to improving every which way he can.
That's not a coach evaluating his roster. That's a coach who's already made his mind up, facts be damned. In that moment, it became clear. Stefanski isn't just protecting Dillon Gabriel, he's protecting his own ego. Now, let's not forget how the Browns actually lost this game. 2 kick return touchdowns. 2! Against the New York Jets, the team that can barely complete a forward pass gave up 14 points before their offense ever touched the field. The Browns have been getting torched on special teams all season, but Stefanski won't make changes, won't shake up the coaching staff, won't hold anyone accountable. This isn't just about one game or one quarterback decision. This is about a franchise that has lost 100 games under current leadership. 100 losses. Think about that number. That's not bad luck. That's not injuries. That's systematic organizational failure. And yet, Kevin Stefanski, a 2-time Coach of the Year winner, is acting like minor adjustments and staying the course will fix everything.
And I believe Kevin Stefanski is the greatest thing to happen to the Cleveland Browns in the last 25 years. I was drafted to the Cleveland Browns. So if anybody has authority to speak on the Cleveland Browns, trust me, I do. But this stubbornness, bro, is truly starting to look negligent, and it's starting to look like malpractice because we all got eyeballs, bro. Myles Garrett slamming his helmet down on the ground after 5-sack games. Cleveland Browns losing to the Jets. Justin Fields at halftime had -7 net yards passing. How do you lose that football game?
Stefanski can't admit he was wrong about Dillon Gabriel. He can't admit that maybe, just maybe, the rookie sitting on his bench deserves a shot, because admitting that would mean admitting he wasted half a season. It would mean admitting his supercomputer analytical approach failed. Dillon Gabriel, to his credit, faced the media after the loss. When asked if he's looking over his shoulder, wondering when Shedeur will take over, Gabriel said,
"No, all I can do is control what I can. And, yeah, that's what you got to do. That's all you got."
He's played through many losses, and he knows how hard it is to win in the NFL, but the right thing to do is not to focus on whether the next man is coming, but to be your best for your team. It's the right answer, the professional answer, but it's also sad, because Gabriel knows he's not the answer. The coaches know it, the players know it, the fans certainly know it. The only person who seems unwilling to accept reality is Kevin Stefanski. The Browns have 8 games left. 8 opportunities to see what they have in Shedeur Sanders. 8 chances to gather actual data about whether they need to spend a first-round pick on a quarterback or if they already have their guy. But Stefanski is sticking with Gabriel. And every week that passes, every loss that piles up, every missed throw that sails over a receiver's head, the anger grows. Not just in Cleveland, but nationally. Stephen A. Smith and every major analyst in football can see what's happening here. A talented defensive roster is being wasted. Young players are developing bad habits. A potential franchise quarterback is rotting on the bench. And a head coach who used to be considered one of the bright minds in football is looking stubborner than smart. Here's the bottom line. Dillon Gabriel has shown you who he is. 5 starts, 5 games of inconsistency, inaccuracy, and inability to move the offense. He's not terrible. He's just not good enough. And in the NFL, not good enough gets you fired. Kevin Stefanski needs to swallow his pride, admit his mistake, and play Shedeur Sanders. Not because Sanders is guaranteed to be better, not because it'll magically fix everything, but because you have to know. You have to gather information. You have to use these meaningless games to answer meaningful questions about your roster. Stefanski has 8 games to fix this. 8 games to show he's still the coach who won those awards. 8 games to prove he cares more about the Browns' future than protecting his ego. Or he can keep running Dillon Gabriel out there, keep insisting everything is fine, keep pretending that minor adjustments will turn a 2-9 team into contenders. We all know how that story ends. Cleveland fans have seen it 100 times before.